And a very pleasant good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on this beautiful Friday, April 21st. I hope you are having an outstanding day. Should be a lot of fun. This is going to be a fun show today, and I'm telling you why. I can tell you why. Let me give me a moment to preview what we're going to do today. If you take a look, it's just me today. There's nobody else here along for the ride. I can go to even the wider screen and you can see Tom Turkey back here behind me. But it's just me today, and what I'm going to do over the course of this show, we have talked about a wide variety of subjects, and this is our Take the Point show. This is the sports show. The other guys couldn't be here, and they have other work responsibilities. That's cool. What I'm going to do today, though, is I'm going to tell you all about some stuff we don't normally talk about on this show. Like I will talk about Major League Soccer and the fun that they're having, at least in St. Louis. They are having a ball in St. Louis. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll also talk a little bit about maybe National Hockey League. They've got the Stanley Cup playoffs going on right now. That is a scream and is a ton of fun. And you can always find wagering on that. We'll also talk a little bit about the NBA. You can find a wagering on that. You can find a wagering on the soccer. You can find, then for good measure, of course, it is the spring season, baseball season. We'll talk a little bit of baseball as well. But this is Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. And we do appreciate you tuning in here on this gorgeous Friday, April 21st. Actually, I'm shooting this on Wednesday afternoon, so sorry about that. But it's supposed to be raining. Hopefully the rain is just about out of the area, and then we'll be able to have baseball and stuff this afternoon. We do have games scheduled today, but I forgot to even look what they are. I'll keep an eye. I'll let you know here throughout the show. But what is going on today on this beautiful day? First things first, I was going to get my buddy Christy Widener to come down here and join me on the show. She is a outstanding young lady from Wendelin. She is works in our office. She is the customer service manager. Does a great job. You ever been? I don't know what other people's titles are. I apologize. She does a wonderful job, and if I messed up her title, I might have. For all I know, she's the chief bottle washer. I'm not sure. But she was going to be here to talk about this first item that I'm bringing up. This is her baby. This is her church up in Wendelin, the Holy Cross Parish Hall in Wendelin. They're having a wine tasting tonight from 6 to 10:30 p.m. Now, this is no normal wine tasting. This is a lot of fun. There are going to be 4 wineries there. Admission is $10, which includes a glass as well as tastings. The 4 wineries will be there, and domestic beer will also be available. Going to be music, food trucks, no one under the age of 21 permitted. So you think church is going to have a good time and a wine tasting and that? Yes. I urge you, if you are in the neighborhood of Wendelin tonight, go to the Holy Cross Parish Hall and by all means help them out. Make a donation. They're just they're taking donations for church stuff, so it's going to be worth your time. That's for sure. But also going to have a great time. They do a wonderful job, and you'll have just the best time. That is again at the Holy Cross Parish Hall in Wendelin tonight. Also today at the Louisville American Legion. Now this is this morning at 11 a.m. The auxiliary spring luncheon is today from 11 to 1. Cost is $10 for all you can eat meal. Again, at the Louisville American Legion. That sounds like a good deal as well. Heck, take a $20 bill, burn your whole day. That sounds like the way to go. Get the lunch at the American Legion, then go to Wendelin to the Parish Hall, have some good time. And then, you know what you can do in the middle of it? I'm here to help. ladies and gentlemen, here on this Friday, April 21st. Fairfield Memorial Hospital going to hold a blood drive today from 10:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., 10:30 to 3:30 at the Educational Annex Building that's located on 10th Street. That's the one, used to be the Union Hall, if you know where the Union Hall was in Fairfield. That used to be the old local 543 Union Hall for Airtex. But the hospital bought it. Donate blood and receive a free meal ticket for the FMH cafeteria. You don't have to use the meal ticket today. You can use the meal ticket some other time. It's the perfect day. Register online at redcrossblood.org and find that drive. It's easy to find. Just put in the Fairfield address or 62837 or Fairfield, Illinois, and it'll kick you to that drive. Register for the drive in advance. You've got the full day here. You go to the luncheon in the afternoon. You go to the hospital, donate blood. Wonderful thing to do. redcrossblood.org is the way to go. And then tonight you go to the Holy Cross Parish Hall. Unbelievable. Your day's planned. Well, if you want more information on by the way, on the blood drive, give Shauna a call at 847-8242. What else is going on this weekend? Well, you know, it's a Friday. We always talk about the weekend stuff, too. On Saturday at the Flora Public Library, 8 in the morning, tomorrow morning, they're going to have their spring book sale at the Flora Public Library. The Friends of the Flora Public Library Spring book sale will be held Saturday. The sale will be from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. Get there early so you get the best selections. It'll be in the library community room. Books will be a quarter a piece, just a quarter a piece. You can't go wrong. Quarter a piece, and magazines are going to be priced at 10 cents each or 12 for a buck. Ladies and gentlemen, what a weekend so far we have planned for you. Anyone wishing to contribute to the book sale can also bring items to the east door of the Flora Public Library during regular hours during the week. You got time to do that today if you want to donate some books or magazines to the big sale. That'd be the nicest thing to do. Flora Library is open Monday through Thursday, 1 to 8, Friday, 10 to 6, and then Saturday from 10 to 3. Donations should be made by, last week. Sorry about that. For more information, call the library at 618-662-6553. Is that not enough? Well, we're through tomorrow morning. In Bluford tomorrow morning, okay, you do this first. You go to the Bluford Rurton Club for their monthly breakfast. All you can eat sausage, pancakes, biscuits and gravy, scrambled eggs, grits, coffee, orange juice, milk, and water, cost by donation. So far, I'm looking at about $30. We're at about $30, $35, depending on how many books you buy. $35 for the weekend so far. This is the way to go. And then you're looking for something to do later in the morning on Saturday. CASA of Southern Illinois is going to have their third annual golf tournament. Now, you might need to throw a little bit more Jake at this. This will be from 10 to register from 10 to 11 at Greenview Golf Club in Centralia. 4-person scramble, $300 a team, $75 a person. Now you know the drill. Food and drinks will be provided there. Right now, I'm at about $100 for the weekend, and food. Oh my gosh, somebody is going to do all these things, and they're going to be the happiest person in the world. One other thing I want to talk about going on this weekend. This up in Effingham on Saturday. And if you need some churching up, by all means, and you drive a motorcycle, go to the Blessing of the Bikes. All makes and models welcome. Coffee and donuts served at the dealership. This is going to be at the Legacy Harley Davidson. Leave the dealership at 11 o'clock and then services at noon at the gigantic cross there. Look at that crowd. That's a good crowd they get at to Bless the Bikes up there at Effingham and Lexington, Harley Davidson. And then they'll return for Cobb's Culinary Creations food truck. Oh my heavens. Your day, your weekend, your week is made in 2 days. Unbelievable. How about that? What else is going on today here on February. How about April 21st, ladies and gentlemen? This is National Chocolate-Covered Cashews Day, observed each year on April 21st. Not unlike other nuts, cashews and chocolate get along well together. Of course, chocolate lovers savor the combination of nutty crunch and creamy rich chocolate. The cashew is from a tree from the family Anasaardidae. I gotta get my glasses on. Anacardiaceae. Anacardiaceae, its English name comes from Portuguese for the fruit of the cashew tree, cashew. Originally native to the northeastern Brazil, cashew trees are now widely grown in tropical climates all over the world for their cashew fruit and nuts with leaves arranged spirally and a leather texture. Evergreen cashew tree grows up to around 30 feet tall, maybe 32. Often grows with an irregularly shaped trunk, and the buds produce small flowers that start pale green, turn reddish, have 5 slender petals. And by the way, if you do pick cashews off a tree, you may not want to do that. Cashews are toxic. The cashew shells are toxic. The cashews themselves, of course, wonderful, just wonderful. How long do cashew trees live? How long would you guess? Cashew trees will live on average about 60 years. According to the Guinness World Records, the world's largest cashew tree is estimated to be over 100 years old. So there you go. A wonderful way to enjoy the day. What else is going on? I'm sick. April 21st. Let's go to April 22nd. National Record Store Day is April 22nd. Owners, employees, music lovers gather in the place that created a culture all its own. From vinyl to digital and back now to vinyl again. The brick and mortar stores celebrate a love of not just music, but also of the art of jacket covers, words, and style. Through a variety of events, record stores across the country and the world hold one-day events and promotions. Now, I know it's difficult to find a good record store. You can go to St. Louis, Vintage Vinyl. You can go to Evansville, I think still has one or two. But there's a great one just downtown, just off of downtown up in Effingham. And they do a wonderful job up there. So go help them celebrate Record Store Day. It's a great thing to do. Local fun. That's a good time. Record Store Day history. This was founded in 2007 by a gathering of independent record store owners. The first National Record Store Day included Metallica meeting fans at the Rasputin Music in San Francisco. That's pretty cool. What else is going on April 22nd, Saturday? We're talking Saturday now, April 22nd. Well, you've been celebrating this. Farmers have been celebrating this forever. Of course, National Earth Day is April 22nd. Each year, National Earth Day campaigns around the globe promote ways to keep the Earth healthy and our planet livable. Since its inception, the organizers promote events educating the public about a variety of subjects, including climate change, air pollution, water pollution, erosion, recycling, composting, renewable fuels and power, carbon footprints, efficient cars, rainforests, and also ecosystems. What's the history of Earth Day, you wonder? Probably not. In 1969, the concept of Earth Day was established at a UNESCO conference in San Francisco. And then on March 21st, 1970, a proclamation was signed by UN Secretary General U Thant at the United Nations. A month later, April 22nd, 1970, U.S. Senator Gaylord Nelson founded Earth Day. So it was founded then back in 1970. How about that? So they've been doing that for a long time. Environmentalists held rallies around the country, and then about 1990, the observance became a global event. So there you go. All kinds of ways to celebrate Earth Day. Like I said, you're driving around to all these different places: Wendell, Louisville, Fairfield, and then Bluford, and then back to Effingham. how better to celebrate Earth Day than to roam the earth, right? That makes sense. What do you want to see on TV, folks? Major League Baseball. Oh, this is my favorite days whenever the Cardinals are out on the West Coast on a Friday night. You can't beat it. Cardinals play at Seattle. Steven Matz versus George Kirby. That's on Bally. That'll be channel 630 at 9:10 tonight. Chicago White Sox are in Tampa at 5:40 this evening. Michael Kopech versus Calvin Foucher. And then at 1:20 this afternoon, the Cubs are in action as the Dodgers have their second game against the Cubs. That will be Julio Urias versus Drew Smyly on Marquee Channel 597. 3 games in the National Basketball Association as Boston is at Atlanta. Boston leads that 2-0, and that's on ESPN. It'll be followed by Denver at Minnesota as Denver and Minnesota are tied 1 game apiece. And then also on ABC at 7:30, the Cavaliers are at New York. That series also tied 1 game apiece. And also the best week of the year. First round of the NHL playoffs. It's doubleheaders, 2 doubleheaders each night. How much hockey can one person stand? It's just great. On TBS tonight at 6 and then at 8:30, Carolina Hurricanes at the New York Islanders and the Dallas Stars of Minnesota. And then at 6:30 on TNT, at channel 633, it's Boston at Florida and then followed by Edmonton at the Kings. All nationally televised. Right next to each other on the dial. You can't go wrong. And we'll come back and tell you all about other sports when we return. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Back right after this. Stick around.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Le Mans Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Le Mans always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at lemansonline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
I'm Dr. Eric Pikus. I'm a general practice physician here at CRHPC, and I work at the Clay Medical Center in Flora. One of the things that I love about working for CRHPC is the fact that it's a federally qualified healthcare center. And that means that we can take care of any patient, whatever the case may be. We don't have to worry about their financial situation. And I love the fact that we can take care of anybody that needs our help. So no matter what care somebody needs, we're going to give them the best possible care available without judgment.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It is all things new at Zimdar's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Appliance Repair. We have a new line of heating and cooling equipment and new technicians. Our new equipment line offers 24 months free financing and excellent warranty coverage. Our experienced service technicians can provide you with quality service and repairs on all brands of HVAC equipment. Zimdar's has been serving Clay County and the surrounding areas for over 23 years. The employees of Zimdar's are here to help, so call local and call Zimdar's.
Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. My name is Bruce Dickey. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Appreciate it. And this is going to be a lot of fun today. Now you're sitting, oh yeah, Bruce, like I I'm over the age of 20. What do I want to learn? I tell you what, this is going to be a lot of fun because this is stuff that I've learned recently because I've never really paid attention. Over the last few weeks, I've paid attention to this. We've talked here on this show quite a bit with both Jamie and with Lucas. We've talked quite a bit, and with probably a little bit with Brian too, about the NBA draft in NBA. How about the NFL draft? There's the NFL draft. That's what it's looking like. It's coming up next Thursday night is when that first round will be drafted. We've got plenty of time to talk about that. We've already spent plenty of time talking about that. So we're going to talk about a different kind of football today in the United States, and Weeze and I, Brian Turner and I, have talked all the time. We talk about the World Cup, love it. There's a Women's World Cup coming up this summer. Sometime. It'll be the summertime down in Australia, where they're having it. But we're looking forward to the World Cups. And also, we'll talk about Premier League once in a while. Premier League is a very high level. The reason I'm talking about the Major League Soccer is cool because if you're from around here, probably 60 or 70% of the people around here are St. Louis sports fans. And if you are a St. Louis sports fan, there is a sensation going on in St. Louis right now with the St. Louis City Soccer Club. They're in the MLS, which is Major League Soccer. It's the American version of the Premier League and the other big leagues. Now, I'll grant you, it's not as big or as vaunted as the Premier League or the La Liga, I can name 5 leagues, 10 leagues higher than this, 5 leagues higher than the Major League Soccer. But they're having a time over in St. Louis. St. Louis has a brand new expansion team. Their first game was in February. Here's what the Western Conference standings show as of today. And now, if you're wanting to read standings, I can give you a little bit of a help here. GP means games played. The MLS will play a total of 34 games in the regular season. Premier League plays 38. The reason MLS doesn't play as many as the Premier League is because the Major League Soccer has a playoff. That's an American thing. Probably 70 or 80% of the leagues in the world don't have a playoff. They just let the league season, the league season take care of business and name the champion from that. That's not how Americans do things. We do playoffs in everything because, well, it's a lot of fun, plus it makes more money. That's why people form leagues. But here is the Western Conference of the MLS right now. Games played, the St. Louis City has played 8. Like I said, they're going to play 34. The W there, that's the wins. So, and they don't call this the standings. Here's another thing. There's terminology in soccer that you kind of have to get used to. Instead of calling those standings, this is a table. This is a table. The W is, of course, the wins. The D is draws. So St. Louis has no draws. L is losses. F and A, that's goals for and goals against. So St. Louis in 8 games has scored 20 goals. That's about 2.5 a game, which is pretty doggone good. Look how much higher it is than anybody else in the West. That's pretty good. They've already played Seattle as well. Lost to Seattle. Seattle's a good team. The goal differential is 11. Plus 11, and P is the points. That's how they determine the points. Is what determines if you get in the playoffs or not. Okay, so you get 3 points for a win, you get 1 point for a draw, and you get 0 for a loss. So That's how you get to 18 points. The St. Louis team, they've got 6 wins, 0 draws, 2 losses, so they have 18 points to lead the table. Los Angeles, the LAFC right there below them, they're probably the best. Well, they're considered one of the best teams in the league. They, along with Seattle and now St. Louis, actually, are the 3 highest ranked teams in the league. And you see, LA has only played 7 games. They have 5 wins and 2 draws. They haven't lost yet. So whenever they do play whenever they catch up in their games, yeah, they'll probably catch the St. Louis team then, but that wouldn't be fun to tell you about, would it, right now? So here's what the East looks like. New England, Cincinnati, St. Louis beat them last weekend in St. Louis after a big rainstorm and thunderstorm, and they beat the tar out of them 5-1. It was just a whooping, and that's a good team. So St. Louis has some pretty good wins, and they're just having a lot of fun at the old ballpark here. They built this brand new stadium, and look at the fans having a good time at these St. Louis games. They are having a ball as that dude's about to have what they call a corner kick. And here they have just recently scored a goal. And by the way, you see the timer up there, 68:07. I know what you're thinking. Bruce, 68, an hour only has 60 minutes. What are you doing to me? It's easy. They play 45-minute halves, and then the second half, they basically start at 45 and keep going up to 90. So once that number you see up there, 68:07, gets to 90, they'd be done. I'm not going to go into extra time. They'll have extra time, but I'm not going to tell you about that. That's confusing. And here's the fans at St. Louis. They are having a ball as the city team keeps winning. And I had a friend who was there. Well, you remember him, Marty David, formerly on the show whenever he lived in town. Loved doing this show. He goes to the games. He's been to 3 or 4. I think they've had 3. I think he's been to all but 1 home game. They've had 4 home games, and he's been to 3 of them. He says they are the best. He said he is having a ball the whole time at these games. So it's something you really want to look into. It's Major League Soccer. I know you're saying soccer. What are you thinking, Bruce? What are you doing wasting my time? Kids, it's fun. I'm here to tell you, it's a good time. And I plan on going to the game here as soon as I can, as soon as I get out of my leg breaks. I'm going to be there. We're going to come back, talk a few more obscure sports here on Wabash Cats TV right after these words. Do stick around. Back in a sec.
At Midwest Farm and Land, we've got a team of dedicated land, home, and commercial experts ready to help.
We understand that buying or selling a property can be extremely stressful. Let our folks take care of you and help you find your perfect piece of property.
Whether it's recreational or hunting land, farmland, homes, or commercial, we're there to help.
Local experts with national reach. If you're interested, give us a call, 618-532-1961, or check us out on the website, MidwestFarmCo.com.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
For service beyond the surface, call Carter Trucking in Fairfield. Carter's trucks are ready to haul your big freight and grain. So whatever you call Jeremy Carter, the Mucho Mulcho Man, the driveway doctor, the gravel guru, the pothole pirate, the rockin' redneck, the smooth operator, the mudhole master, or the happy hauler, just call him 842-2022 to haul your big freight, grain, and more with trucks from Carter Trucking, Williamson Drive in Fairfield.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Cats TV. Thank you so much for being here today. I do certainly appreciate it. Let's talk about it. I told you that I was going to tell you about some other sports that we don't typically talk a lot about here on this show. Well, you know, this one is a major sport, and they have started their playoffs now, and we talked about it a little bit in the last couple of weeks, but we really haven't gotten much into the NBA, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the NBA. We'll take a quick break and get into the NHL too. But the NBA currently in their playoffs, as you can see up there on this is the East on the right side and the West on the left side, and doesn't have names of cities, but I can tell you who they all are. As starting we'll just start over there on the East. You've got the Bucks taking on the Heat right now. As we do this show, and we talked a little bit about this last week, the fact that the first round. We didn't talk much about it because the first round of the NBA playoffs is typically dominated by the higher seeded teams, or the more favored teams. There aren't too many upsets, especially with 7 games in the first round. Like, for instance, you've got the Bucks playing the Heat up there. This is when we're shooting this on Wednesday afternoon. It's 1-0. It's 1-0 right now. Miami leading Milwaukee. Milwaukee won the league a couple of years ago. They're the number 1 seed in the East. So people really aren't giving the Heat much chance to still win. Right now, even though they're behind a game, the Bucks are still a 3-1 bet to win the series, minus 290 to be exact. So if you bet, it'd take you $290 to win 100. You get paid back $390. The Bucks are picked by the ESPN computers 80% of the time to win that series. Which at 3-1 is about right. Maybe not quite right. Be 75 probably be more likely. But they get back at it tonight, and NBA slogs a little bit slower than the NHL. Boston is playing, look down there at the bottom, Boston's playing the Hawks. Boston leads that series 2-0. And Boston was the higher seed, so right now Vegas has Boston minus 10,000 to win that series. 99% chance. So if you wanted to win $100, you got to bet $10,000 to win $10,100. Yeah, that's 100 to 1. That's good luck, Atlanta. Elsewhere in the East, the Sixers and the Nets. Right now, the Sixers lead 2-0. They are not quite as prohibitive a favorite as the Celtics are. You see them down there on the right-hand side. The Sixers only 400 to 1. Or 40 to 1, pardon me, only 40 to 1. It'd take you $4,000 to win 100. You got to bet $4,000 to win 100. Also, the other one in the East, the Knicks versus the Cavaliers. That one's tied up. That's kind of more interesting. Cavaliers are only minus 120, so that one you never know how far that one's going to go. That's tied up at 1. They'll have game 3 tonight. I think we talked about that earlier on Friday night. So, and then again, out there in the West, the Nuggets won their first game. They are currently 10-1 to win that series. Now, that's only one game in. The Nuggets are 10-1 to beat the Timberwolves. They won it 29-point win. The Lakers and the Grizzlies, this is the interesting one. The Grizzlies are the higher seeded team, and they're the one that is supposed to win. However, Grizzlies are banged up, and they have health issues. Their best player's hurt. They don't know when he's going to come back. Lakers right now, with only one game played, you got to bet $265 on the Lakers to win 100. It's minus 265. So to get 365 back, you got to bet 265. That seems kind of high. What about the champs? What do you say? How about the Golden State Warriors? Down there, in that third level of the west side there, taking on the number 3 seed Sacramento Kings. Kings won the first 2 games, right? Kings win the first 2 games. The Celtics were minus 10,000, 100 to 1. The Sixers were 40 to 1 after winning the first 2 games. Kings now on the road at Golden State, they're only minus 160. So you'd have to bet $160 to win 100 to win that series. That is a nice number. I love that. And then finally, the Clippers and Suns have split. So the Suns, being the higher seeded team, they are minus 280. That is just a real quick and dirty look at the NBA. Injuries are beginning to occur. Like I said, mainly you've got Giannis Antetokounmpo is maybe out for the Bucks. That's something to keep an eye on. But I tell you what, that Kings number at minus 160, if you can find that, you heard it here first. Back right after these with more sports we don't talk about. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Back after this, stick around. Having car trouble, need a tow, or just some routine maintenance? Butcher Automotive in Louisville has you covered. Locally owned and operated, Butcher Automotive offers complete vehicle repair services along with tire sales and wheel alignment. They're your local Hankook tire and interstate battery dealer. Butcher Automotive offers free local pickup and delivery so your car can be repaired while you're at work or at home. Butcher strives to treat everyone's vehicle as their own. At Butcher Automotive, they don't want you to give them your business, they want to earn it.
Residents of the Clay County and surrounding area have relied on Clay County State Bank for sound professional service for over 100 years. With convenient lobby and drive-up hours, we are ready to serve you Monday through Saturday. We appreciate all who bank with us, and we look forward to the opportunity of working with anyone who is looking for a community bank to help with their financial needs. Give us a call at 665-3314, visit us online, or stop by and see us on the square in Louisville to experience our friendly personal service.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. Our employees depended on it. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance. North Wayne Insurance Agency in Flora is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Hey folks, welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Thank you so much for tuning in this week's Take the Points episode. I appreciate it. As talking about sports that we don't talk about very often. We've been talking about all kinds of NFL draft. Not today. We've been talking all kinds of baseball. I'm going to talk baseball. Who's kidding there? But I'd be remiss. I love baseball enough that, but I'm saving it for last. Okay? Because right now, let's talk a little bit of NHL hockey. Because we don't talk enough about NHL hockey. The last time Really, the last time we talked a ton about the NHL was whenever the Blues were in the Stanley Cup final, and that was in 2019. That's 4 years ago. Does it seem, oh my gosh, it does not seem like 4 years since the Blues won the Stanley Cup. That was 2019. It seems like yesterday when I went to the parade. Had a ball, and I would love to do it again, but there are going to have to be some changes on the Blues right now because they ain't close. But the NHL playoffs are underway. As you can see here, the first rounds have begun. I tell you what, let's do. Let's cut this down a little bit. Let's talk about each series, each conference here in a little bit more detail. You've got Seattle, an expansion team. They're in their first playoffs in their first year of action. They're playing the Colorado Avalanche. Guess what? Colorado's the defending champs, right? They won the NHL last year. This tells you all you need to know about the National Hockey League. The Kraken beat Colorado the other night, beat them handily, 3-1. They lead the series 1-0, and just tells you, you can make predictions about the first round in basketball in the NBA. You make predictions in the first round of hockey. For the most part, you can occasionally, those go bye-bye very quickly. Like I said, the Seattle and Colorado. Seattle now has home ice advantage. You've got Dallas and the Minnesota Wild. Dallas, the leading squad there. Minnesota wins the first game. So another upset. Minnesota leads that series. How about Winnipeg? The number 8 seed against the Vegas Golden Knights. Number 1 seed, Vegas Golden Knights, the number 1 seed in the West. They got swamped. They just got drilled. You just never know. And then finally, the Edmonton and LA. LA wins at Edmonton. So all 4 road teams won the games 1 of these series out in the West. Are you a gambling man? Do you like to gamble? Do you like to be right? I'd rather be right. I don't gamble in hockey much. Gambling in hockey is, it's almost like gambling in baseball, which is crazy too. How about the East? What's it look like? Well, you have Boston, who had the record-breaking season, best season of all time. They win. They beat Florida, and Boston's going to be very difficult to beat. They were figuring they'd probably have to face Toronto. Oh, looky. Toronto gets beat by Tampa in game 1 of that series in Toronto. The Toronto Maple Leafs are, how shall I put this? Crumbling. The fans are going ape. They're just going nuts. They think that it's over. They were one of the top 3 teams in the league, and they lose 1 game in the playoffs, and they think it's over. There's some of these quotes are just terrible because they gave up a bunch of goals in the first period. It was over in the first period. The first period of game 1, they gave up 3 goals to the Lightning, and the Lightning are they've won 2 championships in the last 3 years. It's a really good Lightning team. Not as good as those other 2 Lightning teams, don't get me wrong, but a disastrous start for Tampa Bay, for Toronto, and they've basically given up the ship, or they feel like it. Hurricanes win, and in kind of a workmanlike fashion, and then the Rangers also beat the New Jersey Devils on home ice. So there you have 6 out of 8 favorites losing on home ice in the National Hockey League. Hey, how do you like betting the playoffs in the NHL? Stanley Cup playoffs, woo-hoo, anything can happen. That's kind of what happened when the Blues won. They thought anything could happen, and it did. So there you have it. There's the Hockey League. What else do you like to talk about that we very seldom talk about? Actually, we're going to talk about this one quite a bit more here in the next few weeks as they have started the Kentucky Derby 149. That's in 2 weeks from Saturday. 2 weeks from this Saturday will be the Kentucky Derby, the Run for the Roses, and several horses have now arrived at Churchill Downs and begun. There are 13 Kentucky Derby contenders on site currently at Churchill Downs, and the rest of them are going to be making their way to Churchill Downs. The one I was reading about today isn't even on this list. See, they don't know who's going to race yet. You had to earn your way in with points. And one of them that comes over from the UAE Derby winner, Derma Sotogake, he started preparing. He's in Churchill Downs. He's not even on this list, right? I don't see him. Derma Sotogake. These horses aren't all going to make the field. You see the field bet down there at the bottom at 4-1. I don't know about. That would be where Derma Sotogake is, and that's a pretty good horse. Forte is the leading contender right now, only because he had the most points, and he's a good horse. Trust me, he's a good horse. But at 4-1, morning line, when the morning line comes out here in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, it's going to be a little bit different. It'll be very different. Now, most of these horses will probably be in the Kentucky Derby, again being run on Saturday the 6th. I really like the Tappet horses. You got Tappet Conquest and Tappet Trice. The Tappet as a stud is a stud. Tappet, his offspring run like the wind, and so that's all coming up. I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to take one more break, and we'll come back and tell you all about baseball. What do you say about that? Cardinals won here on Wednesday. Cardinals won on Wednesday, going to Seattle on the weekend. So we'll take a look. We're going to take a look ahead at the Cardinals schedule, the Cubs schedule, the White Sox schedule. Get you all into the baseball. You are watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Cats TV. Back after this.
In 1916, Warren Miller chose Auto Owners Insurance. Later, his son made the same choice, as did his grandson. And today, his great-granddaughter did the same. As we reflect on where we've been, we're grateful to our independent agents and to those who have put their trust in us, and to the generations who will. Auto Owners Insurance.
Harrison Insurance in Louisville is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Make Carnaby Square in downtown Fairfield your fashion leader. We're the little boutique with the big inventory of beautiful, trendy outfits and clothing in a wide array of your favorite name brands. And don't forget our large selection of jewelry and accessories. Carnaby Square is Southern Illinois' largest dealer of Brighton. At Carnaby Square, we take pride in our one-on-one, knowledgeable customer service and look forward to helping you create your own special look. Plus, always free gift wrapping. Find endless gift ideas 24/7 at CarnabySquare.com and on our Facebook page. Shop the fashion leader in downtown Fairfield, Carnaby Square.
Napa know-how.
At Flora Auto Parts, you can count on the Napa know-how experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, your locally owned Napa store carries a large inventory of parts for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced counter people understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa know-how at Flora Auto Parts.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
hit the right button. Hey, welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Happy April 21st to you all. Hope you're enjoying yourself. By the way, one other thing I wanted to mention before I forget about it. April 22nd, tomorrow, Saturday, one of my buddies' birthdays. My old friend Steve Cockleasure, former state trooper, retired state trooper. He's celebrating his birthday tomorrow, and hope you, Steve, hope you have a good time. Steve, big fan of the show over there in Olney, so we do appreciate him tuning in as we continue through the show today. By the way, I mentioned baseball. We do have baseball here on this afternoon, high school baseball, and it is Breeze Mater Day at Salem. So barring any rain out, it's on television this afternoon here on this station. Breeze Mater Day will be at Salem. Breeze Mater Day, pretty good basketball team. They're not having as good a baseball year as they usually do. So Salem has a shot. Salem's playing better. They're reducing runs and they're playing better, and they have a shot today. We'll have that game at about 4:30 again, barring the weather. I don't know if they'll be able to play. We'll see. But speaking of baseball, right now, after the first 3 weeks of the season, is it still too early to make some judgments? I don't know. I don't know if it's too early or not. Here, let's take a look at the American League for one thing. And of course, you're reading across. If you're squinting at your screen, hopefully you've got high definition, and you can see this. Of course, Tampa started out that season with a 13-game winning streak, and they have lost. Actually, they won 2 in a row before I think they lost on Wednesday. I took this picture before the Wednesday's games, so this is a smidge old. Tampa Bay's already got themselves a 4.5-game lead. Personally, I think that's early. When you look at the schedule, and you see who Tampa Bay has gotten rich and gotten fat off of, they haven't played anybody. They're now starting to play some teams and play some better teams, and they're going to come back to earth. Tampa Bay is most likely going to come back to earth. I'm not saying they're not a good team. Don't get me wrong. But they're going to come back to earth. You look at the Minnesota Twins at 10-7, run differential of 17. By the way, that Tampa Bay run differential of 83 is insane. That's just crazy. But the Twins with a run differential of 17, that's who they are. Twins are going to be a good team. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games, lost 3 in a row. But so have the Guardians. So, I mean, the Central in the American League is kind of like the Central in the National League. They're not that good, especially as you look farther down. The real disappointing one, and we'll get more into the White Sox here in a little bit as we look at their schedule. That's pretty disappointing. The Royals are bad. The Royals are not a good team. That's like a minor league team. How about out west? The Houston Astros under 500 at 8-10. They're 3.5 games behind the Rangers. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rangers might be for real. They spent a lot of money. This much. Piles and piles and piles of cash in the free agency market and in making trades. They might be the real deal. Then you take a look in the National League, folks. We'll get into the Cubs and the Cardinals and as well as the Sox here in a minute. The Braves aren't doing it with smoke and mirrors. The Braves might just run away from the rest of the National League East because the Mets have some real pitching issues. They've got some real health issues on the mound. And then the Marlins, probably not enough hitting to be able to stay up with them. The Phillies are stuck in a rut right now, bad pitching. Phillies are, I've talked about it over and over. I will talk about it again this fall. When the team loses when they're in the championship match, usually one of the teams doesn't make the playoffs the next year. And last year it was the Astros versus the Phillies. I feel better about the Astros' chances than I do Philadelphia. Philadelphia's still hurt. They're kind of banged up. Bryce Harper's not playing yet. We'll see what happens. And then farther into the National League, you get the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are now 11-8. 11-8 following their loss on Wednesday to the Cardinals. They've got the Dodgers breathing down their necks. The Dodgers are playing the Cubs the next 4 days. Now, grant you, the Cubs played real well out in Los Angeles. Played extremely well out in Los Angeles last week. The Cubs are 10-6. We'll get to them in a second. But the Dodgers, that's a good team, and Arizona probably is. They don't want to be looking over their shoulder, but if they are, the Dodgers are going to be catching up. How about the Padres? I think the Giants are toast. I think the Rockies are toast. How about the Padres? They've got Freddie Tatis coming back pretty soon. I think maybe this weekend Fernando Tatis is back from his suspension. He's playing really well in AAA. He's got his swing back, and he's healthy. He knows how to hide the drugs. Maybe. Oh, did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to. Not much. But yeah, you got to look out for the Padres. Let's take a look at those Cubs and those Cardinals. Well, first of all, let's take a look at the White Sox. What they've got coming up. No, that's the Cubs, isn't it? Let's take a look at the Sox. Well, that's the Cardinals. There's the Sox. Here's who the Sox have coming up. Things ain't getting any easier for Chicago. They've got to play Tampa Bay 7 out of the next 10 games. That is a tough job for anybody. If Tampa continues to play well and pitch well like they have, now granted, I told you Tampa's going to come back to the crowd, but you hate to catch them when they're hot, and that's when the White Sox are catching Tampa right now. This weekend, 3 games this weekend, 3 against a good Toronto team. We already saw that the Toronto Blue Jays 11-7, and we saw them in St. Louis. Cardinals won that series. Here's what the Cubs look like. We've got 4 this weekend against the Dodgers. They've got 3 against San Diego, who, like I said, by next Tuesday will have Freddie Tatis back. And then they go to tough pitching Miami, where they'll get Luzardo at least one night and might get the big man, the former Cardinal, as well. So Cubs have a little bit of a difficult road right here that they need to be a little bit careful on. And of course you can watch the White Sox on NBC Sports Chicago, channel 643 on the box, and the Cubs of course on Marquee. Of course that is channel 6. Is that 6? No, 597. On the cable. So keep that in mind. Cubs are going to have a difficult time. Let's take a look at the Cardinals. Cardinals come into this with a 8-11 record. Come into this next 10-game West Coast swing. They're out west, which usually is a bad thing. The good thing for St. Louis is that they're playing Seattle, who's not very good right now. Seattle's not playing terrifically well. And then they play San Francisco, who is not playing well at all right now. So you get the opportunity to maybe get back to 500, get a game or two over 500 if you win both those series. If you go 2-3 against Seattle, go 3-1 against San Francisco maybe. Get a chance to get a game or two over 500 before you have to play against Dustin May and Clayton Kershaw for the LA Dodgers, who are, no kidding, the 2 of the really, really good pitchers. Although May got trounced the other night. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe his hair got in his way. Dustin May is he's got the big long red hair. You'd recognize him if you saw him. But that's what the road ahead looks like for the baseball squads. It's just fun to watch right now. We're 1/8 of the way into the season. Bruce, what are you talking about? What are you worrying about? I worry. That's why I'm worrying. Oh, but don't you worry. We'll be back next week with a whole new Take the Points. We're going to talk about the first round of the NFL draft along with the rest of the draft, and we'll have a good time. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Thank you so much for watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.